All right, so let's go into the first question. So Tim asked, what is my digital agency worth if I sold it today? So the short answer is it's worth whatever someone will give you money for it and whatever you're willing to take. You know, the thing I want to debunk right now is if you can get over 5 million, you'll get tons and tons of money, or get over 1 million. It doesn't matter on your gross. I know agencies that are over 10 million in revenue and they're like at 4% profit, which is horrible, okay? Like your goal for profit margin should be 40% and more than that. If it's not, you're doing something wrong. And there's a lot of people doing something wrong. But the cool thing is know there's something wrong and you can make it darn change, right? And I don't want to cuss. So to answer your question, to give you kind of a baseline, it's all about looking at the past 3-year track record. Because as a possible acquirer wants to know is they want to make sure you're going up. If you're going down, it's going to be like a fire sale. They're going to be like, well, we'll just acquire your assets and we'll give you this amount of money and that kind of stuff. So you really want to look at, you know, has my revenue grown and by what percentage year over year, right? In order to figure that out. So on a low end, it would be 15% gross every year. On a high end, it might be, 50%, okay? And then you also need to look at the profit. That's really where it is. Who cares if you're a $10 million agency? You should be making mad bank on the profit. And so, then you can base your margins like, so on a small side, I'll give you a low and a small, just to give you some kind of range. If you were 15% gross or growing every year for the past 3 years at 15%, and then 15% profit, you'd probably have a 5x multiple on profit, right? So if you were at $1 million profit, you would get 5 million valuation for your agency. And that's not saying you're getting 5 million in cash, it's just what they evaluate it at. And then you can go through all the other stuff that I'll cover in the next question, okay? On the high end, let's say you're at 40% on both ends, right? 40% growth, 40% margins, then it could be 11x, right? So let's say you were $1 million profit, then you would get 11 million valuation, okay? So that's just a rule of thumb to give you kind of low and the high, and then you can calculate if you really want to sell it or not. A lot of times I tell people not to sell their agency because a lot of agency owners, and tell me if I'm wrong, they go, well, the grass is greener on the other side. I want to go build this product, right? This was me. I want to go build this product because it's so much easier, and I don't have to do all the hard work and deliver and all that kind of stuff. And what they find is the grass is greener on the side you actually water. And if you did actually want to do a product, you can use the agency as an incubator or this kind of system that just keeps producing these amazing products and technologies. Keep the agency, since you're not getting the huge multiples that you would on a SaaS company, build up these amazing SaaS companies, and then you're off to the races, right? And you get the money that you want, if that's what you want. If you're doing it just for the money, you shouldn't be doing it. Okay, hopefully that answered. I want you to join the conversation. Make sure you comment and subscribe. Thanks for giving me your most valuable asset, your time.